So it's Sunday evening. Her kitchen is 90% done. Right now I want to go and measure the size of the wall where the kitchen sink is, because I need to put a 3mm MDF board flush along that entire wall because the brick is it's not even. So we want to do vertical paneling on that wall, and doing the individual panels on the brick wall is not going to look good because it's not even. So I need to do like a solid board that fits in there. So I need to get my measurements really on point, because I'm gonna order the board from Timber City, have them cut it for me, then I just want to come and install it and use that as an even wall. It also gives us the opportunity to take it down one day if we want to expose the brick again, so we don't have to chip off plaster and stuff. So I'm going to measure that wall quickly. I'll show you guys my drawing, and hopefully I got it right, so we can just do the paneling on top of that. Okay, so here I've written down what I need. So that is the entire space of the brick wall that I've measured. I'm gonna have to cut this into 3 separate pieces. So the first piece is gonna be 1160, because I added an extra 2mm there, by 545 high. So that's gonna be a separate piece of 3mm MDF board. Then we have a piece, the second piece is gonna be 805 wide by 845 high. And then the third piece is going to be 988 wide by 545 high. So I'm going to have these 3 pieces and add them onto the wall, and just make sure where they connect that everything is flush and level. And then I'm going to order 2 more boards. So if my memory serves me correctly, the boards are 2.8 meters long and 1.2 meters wide. I'm going to ask them to cut one of those boards into 100mm strips in the width. So it's going to be 1.2 meter strips that are 100mm, and then they're going to cut a second board for me, 100mm strips, but in the length, the 2.8 meter length. So these strips I'll be using for the wall behind the oven, and these strips I'll be using on top of these panels that I did to give a vertical panel look. I just stopped at Timber City to come and order the panels and stuff for Mom and Love's kitchen, so I'm going to take you along so you can see how I do it. Hallo daar. Hoe gaan dit? Goed, dankie. Ek het nog so 'n paar goedjies wat ek by jou wil bestel asseblief. So, sê gou weer vir my die size van julle 3mm bruin MDF borde. 750 by 1.8. By 1.8. Okay, cool. Ek dink ek gaan 2 borde nodig hê. So ek gaan gou vir jou wys wat ek wil doen. So ek het basies daai 3 sizes nodig. Om uit een bord uit te kom. En dan die ander bord kan julle net vir my sny, so dis gaan ja. Julle gaan seker eers en volgende Dinsdag klaar wees met dit, nee, want môre is vakansiedag en Maandag. Einde volgende. Okay, dis fyn, ja, dan kan ons volgende naweek werk. Baie dankie. En jy weet wat my naam is en my nommer is. Het jy net onthou? Well done. Okay, so it's ordered, it's paid, and now I'm just going to wait for their call to let me know that it's ready for collection, which will probably be in a week's time. So today is Wednesday. I'll have it by next week Wednesday, because we have tomorrow's a public holiday and Monday's a public holiday. So then we'll come collect. We bought a little something that we didn't plan on buying right now, but I felt like it was going to be a great tool to use for this process. We bought a miter saw. We went with a
cordless option, so it's battery powered, which means we can carry it around wherever we need to, instead of having to figure out a way to plug it into the wall, especially when we're working outside. I used to use my jigsaw to cut my panels to the desired length, but obviously with a jigsaw I don't get a crisp straight line. There's always a little bit of a skew line in there, even though I followed the line that I drew with my pencil. So this is going to give me a cleaner, straighter cut, and I'm very excited to use this. I've never used it before, so I'm going to learn on the go. I have all the panels, I have everything cut. It's here on the floor. Those are the big boards that will be covering the brick behind me, so it's a flush surface because the bricks are very uneven. But first, I need to unbox my miter saw and figure out how it works. The battery operated miter saw doesn't come with the batteries and the whole pack, so we had to get this in addition to the miter saw. But thankfully these batteries work on all of their tools, so if we would ever need to get a new jigsaw, we'll go cordless and then just use this battery for all the Ryobi tools. So we got the sliding one as well, the slide miter saw, which means you can do wider planks because it slides forward and then it cuts that way. The one that doesn't slide can only do half that, I think. So we want to give ourselves the option, you know, because we're going to be doing a lot of DIY projects in this house.
Ja. There's a little bit of a gap here between the wall and the cupboards, which is nice because I get to push this in underneath the cupboard where this might not be 100% level, so that helps a lot. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to struggle here because there's a little piece here. So I'm just going to get the chisel and the hammer to chisel this out, and a little bit of that as well, so that the board can go flush to the cabinet. Ooh. This hammer ain't gonna make it, people. It looks like it's gonna work, but the only problem I see is over here. It doesn't really want to go at the back of the cupboard because there's a little bit of a unevenness over here. So I'm just gonna chisel that out a little bit and see if that makes a difference. Ah! That made all the difference. I'm not sure. Well, this is the one that says 805 actually. I'm gonna have to cut off this guy anyway. Maybe it can slide in. Wait, let's see. Oh wait, are we getting somewhere? Maybe take this guy out. Right. I think I need to take out. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna have to cut this guy as well. I think what I did was I went for too tight of a cut, so I think I'm just gonna go with 800 instead of 805. So I literally have to take 5 mil off on both sides. Definitely a better fit. So the exact gap was 805 and I took off 5 mil just so it fits a little bit better. I honestly don't know how much glue to put on, so I'm just putting on a lot because I don't want it to come off. I really like this gun. I hope it's enough. Okay. Challenge number 1 is the glue is not going to work because the wall is too uneven for the glue to grab a hold of anything. The glue is not doing a thing. It did nothing to the glue. I mean, what? None of this, nothing worked. Oh gosh. Start by drilling my 4 holes into the backboard with a wood drill bit. It's got a little sharp point right there in front to peg into the wood. And then once those holes are made, I'm going to put my board against the wall and I'm going to mark out through those holes where I need to drill into the brick. From the wall with having just 4 screws in, so I'm going to do one more in the middle and see how that feels. Turns out I was using the wrong drill bit and I ended up frying it. It was glowing at one point. So this is not the drill bit for concrete or brick. This is. So it has like a square side and more of a round nose. Where some of the plugs stood out a little bit too far for me, I just used my hammer to pound it a bit more into the wall so it's recessed into the backboard. Okay, so my panels are already cut into 100mm strips. So all I need to do is figure out the length. I'm just going to measure the height that I'm working with here.
I thought about it again and I'm going to start the panels in the middle over here.
Yeah.
And then move my way out.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to measure this space to find the middle. 0.25. I'm putting that center point that I marked on the 50mm mark. And then I'm just going to draw my outline from where my first panel needs to go. That. Then very similar to the cabinets that I did, I'm just putting on some no more nails.
Then we're going to center it and stick it on. I'm just going to use my level to ensure that my panel is 100% level. Because if you get your first one right, then the rest should really not be a problem. I have my 3mm spacer on hand as well, so I can use that to get the spacing right between the two panels. Okay, we got 2 panels up, guys. It's tiny bit underneath there. I'm gonna hold my spacer and then I'm gonna measure from there. So I know this is where my cutout needs to end, and that's where it needs to be cut out. So we should be 3.5mm from the side. My kan get out of secure. As jy vang wat ek sê. My first panel will then be here on this side of the wall, and then I'll work my way to the left, doing my cutouts around the plug, and then obviously the smaller piece in the corner, and then working my way that side again, doing cutouts around the plug, and then you'll cut off against the wall there. Back with the kitchen backsplash, day 2. I managed to get all the panels up yesterday, and I'm going to start with the silicone or the painter's mate to fill all the imperfections, and then once that's dry, we're going to prime and then paint and then seal. Okay, so I've started with the painter's mate and the silicone, and I've sealed around all the open edges over here. Then you'll notice, I'm going to show you now how I do this, but I draw the silicone line right across against the bottom of the cabinet, and then I take this 3mm piece, which I use as my spacer, and I go in between the slats and I pull out the silicone between the slats so that we have that clean, crisp line going all the way through to the cabinets. Get your paint in between the panels, because otherwise you're going to see a different color between the panels and it's going to be very blotchy. So I just put a nice amount of paint on my brush and I just go in between the slats to get it painted. Okay, next step. Ja. Ja, maak kan net voel gou die verskil tussen hierdie op Ma's hand en dan voel maar gou daar. Ja. So they baie liggies. Okay, so primer's dried, finished, and now we're prepping for the top coat. I've noticed that after the primer is on, the panels feel quite rough. So we're just going over with 100 grit sandpaper to smooth it out a little bit to ensure a very smooth finish. So Mom and Love and I are quickly going to do that and wipe down the walls and then start painting. So you'll notice that I'm going horizontally over the gap to fill the gap with paint, and then I just smooth it out with my paintbrush. That way you get a better coverage between the panels. It's 7 p.m. on a Sunday evening. After 3 coats of paint and checking all of the space between the panels, we are finally done, and now I'm going to put the marine sealer on the wall. We're going to do 1 coat. You need to wait 6 to 12 hours between coats, so we'll probably go ahead and do a 2nd coat tomorrow just to ensure it's nicely protected. It's still drying, so it'll go a little bit more matte like that, but still have a low sheen, which I'm happy with. Very hard work the last few days, and it turned out beautifully. I'm considering doing the sealer on all the cabinets as well, just for longevity.